Hello everyone, my name is Alana. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like. Of Missy's The Big Bang Theory tragedy is excellent for young Sheldon. Even though she is portrayed as a negative character who is mostly exploited for comedic effect on the nerd-centric show. Missy, Sheldon's more gorgeous and gregarious twin, was first introduced on Season 1 of The Big Bang Theory. She was the second Cooper family member to appear on the nerdy sitcom after Mary. Even though The Big Bang Theory made a huge mistake in how it handled Missy's character, it's actually a boon for her. Missy is one of the most popular characters on young Sheldon. Since then, the Coopers have relied on Sheldon's twin sister for emotional support. Near the end of young Sheldon Season 5, Georgie revealed her unexpected pregnancy. This emphasizes even more why Missy is the most intelligent Cooper child. She is the only one who can see the severe flaws in Mary and George's marriage. In spite of this, young Sheldon keeps underusing the character by keeping her in a supporting role and not giving her a personal arc. On The Big Bang Theory, CBS has already made a grave error. One would think that The Big Bang Theory would have played a big role in this, given Missy's popularity on young Sheldon. After all, the prequel was approved in order to take advantage of the original sitcom's success. This isn't the case, though, as young Sheldon's portrayal of the character differs greatly from her older counterpart. SheldonREVEALS is really grateful that Missy wasn't used as much in TVD, since it gave her the opportunity to personalize the role. Additionally, it reduces the likelihood of further narrative discrepancies by enabling young Sheldon to write her story in a manner independent of The Big Bang Theory's established canon. Inconsistencies between the sitcoms are a well-known consequence of young Sheldon's loose attitude to The Big Bang Theory's continuity. Inconsistent character portrayals are the main cause of plot holes. This is especially true of George, who was portrayed as a bad father, only to have the prequel portray him as a loving but imperfect family guy. The same might be said for Mary, who, in spite of her assertions that she was the better Cooper parent, is far more critical and generally terrible on The Big Bang Theory. Sadly, Missy is still underutilized in young Sheldon Season 6. In the current year of the show, the character has yet to have a fascinating story, and it doesn't appear that any plans are in the works to give her more attention anytime soon. Given that practically every member of the family is already going through something, this makes sense, but CBS must keep in mind that young Sheldon is losing out on a significant opportunity by failing to capitalize on Missy, who is an amazing character. The Big Bang Theory may finally and genuinely be a family comedy if only the prequel could concentrate on her as well. When The Big Bang Theory wrapped up in 2019, fans were left with a whirlwind of emotions. The iconic sitcom, which followed the lives of brilliant yet quirky scientists and their relationships, ended after 12 successful seasons. But one crucial character, Missy Cooper, didn't get as much screen time as we might have hoped. And yet, in an unexpected twist, young Sheldon, the prequel to The Big Bang Theory, has used Missy's absence to propel the storyline forward in fascinating and sometimes heartbreaking ways. But what if we told you that Missy's Big Bang Theory tragedy is not just a sad part of the Cooper family history, but actually one of the best things that could have happened to young Sheldon? Here's why Missy's heartbreaking fate is not just pivotal to Sheldon's development, but might just be the secret ingredient that pushes young Sheldon into new territory and makes it a standout series all on its own. The genius who can't seem to understand basic social interactions grew up with his twin sister, Missy. But while we got glimpses of her in The Big Bang Theory, we never truly understood her significance until young Sheldon began exploring the early years of Sheldon's childhood. The Big Bang Theory never fully explored Missy's role in Sheldon's life, but her absence is undeniable. Her later disappearance, when we learned she's essentially written out of the picture, was devastating. But guess what? This gap in Sheldon's past has created a much richer narrative for young Sheldon, as we get to explore how her absence has shaped the brilliant but emotionally stunted boy we know and love. With Missy essentially missing from Big Bang's present, her presence in young Sheldon is felt as an unresolved, almost ghostly force, something that adds emotional depth to Sheldon's character. This tragedy gives Sheldon's journey more emotional stakes, showing the ways in which he learned to cope with the emotional weight of growing up without a sister who was once important to him. This absence forces him to reflect on things he couldn't in his younger years. What makes Missy's story especially heartbreaking is the knowledge that she was never fully explored in The Big Bang Theory. For fans who watched Sheldon as an adult, his occasionally cold and distant nature made sense, because he never had the emotional tools to truly connect with people. Now, in young Sheldon, we see that part of that lack of emotional growth could be linked to the tragic absence of his twin sister. Through the eyes of young Sheldon, we begin to realize how deeply Missy's absence impacts him, even if he doesn't always show it. Missy's disappearance didn't just affect Sheldon emotionally, it also set him on a path toward eventual growth. Her absence in Big Bang Theory allows young Sheldon to explore more of Sheldon's emotional development than we could ever have imagined. By introducing more complex themes surrounding loss, grief, and emotional maturation, young Sheldon sets Sheldon on a course to understand not only how to cope with his own feelings, but also how to interact with the people closest to him in ways that his future self never fully could. The tragedy of Missy Cooper is more than just an offhand reference. It's a complicated and emotional story that will unfold in young Sheldon in ways you never expected. We know she's gone in The Big Bang Theory, but that doesn't mean young Sheldon is done with her. This ongoing thread of Missy's emotional journey and how it relates to Sheldon adds layers of depth to a series that could have simply rested on the antics of a young genius trying to navigate childhood. Young Sheldon often oscillates between humor and the emotional tug-of-war that Sheldon faces. With Missy's untold story lingering in the background, viewers can expect deeper, more complex arcs in the show's later seasons. The more we explore Sheldon's relationship with his family, particularly his twin sister, the more we learn about his struggles and how they shape his adult persona. And the best part? It all builds up to create a more mature and emotionally satisfying portrayal of Sheldon that we never thought possible. Sheldon's relationships with his family members, especially with his mother, Mary, are among the highlights of young Sheldon. His interactions with his father, George, and his brother, Georgie, have also provided some deeply moving moments. However, it is the shadow of Missy's absence that adds an emotional layer to Sheldon's family dynamics. In many ways, her tragedy serves as a catalyst for more genuine and heartfelt moments between Sheldon and his family. We see how his parents deal with the loss of a daughter, and in turn, how Sheldon struggles with the loss of a sibling. These emotional moments, which might not have had the same impact without Missy's absence, are key to young Sheldon's success as a show that balances humor with real emotional stakes. Think about it. If Missy were around, Sheldon might not have had to form such a unique bond with his family. With her absence, Sheldon becomes the focal point of his parents' emotional attention, and we watch as they navigate the complexities of raising an extremely gifted but emotionally complicated child. It's clear that Missy's absence doesn't just shape Sheldon, it shapes the entire family. Revisit Missy's untold story in young Sheldon, there's a growing sense of anticipation. What really happened to her? Why is she such a mystery? As fans, we're slowly piecing together the puzzle of Missy's past, and young Sheldon tantalizes us with little clues that hint at the larger, heartbreaking narrative. Her absence in Big Bang has set up a dramatic, emotional journey that will eventually come to a head. As we get closer to young Sheldon's final season, whenever that may be, the question remains, how will Missy's story unfold, and will we ever get the closure we so desperately crave? The buildup is palpable, and as we move toward more emotional and pivotal moments in Sheldon's life, Missy's legacy will be a driving force in keeping us invested. Viewers have been aching to know the true impact Missy had on Sheldon, and it's clear that young Sheldon will use her absence to deepen Sheldon's emotional understanding of himself and his family. At the end of the day, Missy's absence in The Big Bang Theory and her complex legacy in young Sheldon have proven something incredible. Young Sheldon doesn't need to be a carbon copy of The Big Bang Theory to be successful. In fact, it's when young Sheldon diverges from the expectations set by its predecessor that it shines brightest. Missy's story might have been one of tragedy, but it has pushed young Sheldon to explore emotions and relationships in ways that are deep, raw, and real. By examining the emotional impact of Missy's absence, young Sheldon can create a richer and more mature series that appeals to fans of both The Big Bang Theory and newcomers who are discovering Sheldon's fascinating and flawed world for the first time. Finally, the hope for a reunion between Sheldon and his long-lost twin has added a twist of possibility to young Sheldon's future. Could Missy make an unexpected return? Will we ever see her on screen again? The answer remains a mystery, and it's one that fans are desperate to know. Whether Missy's eventual fate comes full circle or remains in the background as a poignant memory for Sheldon, one thing is clear: her tragedy has had an undeniable effect on the course of young Sheldon. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.